What is going on, everybody? Roadrunner Tutorials here with another After Effects keyboard shortcut video. Let's get to it. So the first one I'm going to cover today is toggle switches and modes, and you can actually just switch them by clicking here, but if you have a hand on the keyboard, you can also do that by just hitting F4. Toggle switches and modes. The second keyboard shortcut I have to show you today is going to be Easy Ease, which is just going to be F9 on the keyboard. So normally you can come in here and you can click Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease in or Easy Ease out, but you can just highlight them both and hit F9 on the keyboard to Easy Ease them. When you have Easy Eased keyframes, you can go into the graph editor, or you can hit Shift F3 on your keyboard, and this will bring up the graph editor, and you can change how much it speeds up or how much it slows down going into a keyframe or coming out of a keyframe. For our fourth keyboard shortcut, this one is one of my favorites. It's going to be the star on the number pad to create a chapter marker, and you can double click it and you can put in comments like stop spinning, and it will actually come up with a little label here that says so. So when I have a motion graphic or an animation I'm working on and there is just a lot of stuff going on, it's really hard to keep track of the timing of everything. What I sometimes do is I'll even open up a new adjustment layer and I will just retitle it markers. And I just kind of go along and I create different markers for, you know, what I want to happen, just to kind of give myself a reference point of, hey, I have all these ideas in my head of how I want it to turn out, and just getting them put down on markers kind of gives me this idea of better timing for when I want things to start or when I want things to stop. So you can put in here, start moving right and move down. It's just really good for organization. For the next keyboard shortcut, it's going to be pretty simple. It's split layer. If you go to a specific spot on your composition and you just want to say move the in point, you know, here, or move the out point of the layer here. Another really easy way of doing that is just hitting Command, Shift, and D, and that will split the layer. And you can just delete whichever part you don't want. It's just an easier way of doing things, I think, than, you know, pulling these in or trying to get them to the exact right spot. You know, you can just type in an exact spot and go right to it and hold Shift and it will snap right into place. Sometimes I start a composition with the idea of doing one thing and end up changing it a little bit and not getting the exact timing right or not getting the preset right. So you can go up here to where your composition is. You can right click and go Composition Settings, or the easy way of doing this would be hitting Cmd K, and that will just bring them right up. You can change your frame rate, the resolution. You can change, you know, how long you want it. Do you want it to start at a different time code? What's the background color? Cmd K is just a really quick and easy way of pulling up your composition settings. This next keyboard shortcut is actually pretty solid, if I may say so myself, which is funnier when I explain to you that Command Y is creating a new solid layer. And this is where you can pick your color or how big you want your solid to be, or the aspect ratio. This next one is kind of going off the last one. This one is actually going to be Command Option and Y to bring up a new adjustment layer. And I actually have a picture here that I can put into my composition. Let me scale this down so you can actually see it. This is my cat, Tom. He's a pretty cool guy. But let's say I wanted to do some color correcting to this picture, and I didn't want to do it right on the picture because I always want an original to go back to. What I can do is I can put this adjustment layer above it, and whatever you do to the adjustment layer will affect the look of everything below it, but it won't actually affect the original files like this photo. So if I wanted to put a curves effect over the top of it and I wanted to change the look, or if I wanted to, you know, make it a little bit darker. Another thing I like about that is, like, let's say I'm looking at this and I'm not exactly sure if I like it, I can always just check the eye and get rid of the adjustment layer and bring it back on. So let's say I have this waveform on my composition and I just hit L twice. and it will actually bring up the waveform so you can see it. For this next one, let's say I have a picture on my composition and I've got, an adjustment layer above it, and for some reason I keep clicking on this one and I'm making changes to my original, which I don't want to do. I can easily lock it by hitting the little lock box here, or I can click on the layer and hit Cmd L, and that will lock it. And then I won't have to worry about anything getting changed with it, and it won't even let me click on it while it's locked. You actually have to go and unlock it that way. This next one is really easy to remember. It's for bringing up your rulers. You can just go ahead and hit Cmd R and your rulers will pop up. It's just kind of for your own reference and guide. Cmd R for rulers. I'm working with a picture here. You can see it's full resolution, which is great. But let's say I'm working with a picture that's much, much bigger, or a video file that's much, much bigger resolution, and it's just taking forever to render. An easy way of changing this is going from full resolution all the way to quarter or third or half. But you can actually change this a pretty quick and easy way. If you go Cmd J, it will change it automatically to full resolution, or if you hit Shift Cmd J, it will automatically change it to half resolution. So this is just kind of an easy, quick way on the fly of changing your resolution. We only have 3 keyboard shortcuts to go, so let's finish strong here. So I have a 3-dimensional square here and a light, but I can't really see anything. So I actually have to set up a camera, which I can easily do by create new and camera, but I think an easy way of doing this is Command Option Shift C, and it will bring up the camera settings. You can go ahead and click OK. There we go. We have a new camera set up in our composition. And for my second to last keyboard shortcut, this one kind of goes along with the camera. It's C for the camera tool, which is really great because now you see I have this little camera icon selected, and I can move this around, and you can see that the square does have some depth to it. If I turn on the transparency grid, you'll be able to see, different sides of it. So much easier way to visualize 3-dimensional space. And for my final keyboard shortcut of the day, in case you haven't listened to a word I've said, or you want to go ahead and look up and create and customize your own keyboard shortcuts, you can pull up the keyboard shortcut menu by hitting Alt, Command, and the apostrophe key, and boom, from here we can look up all sorts of different things. So if you want new project, new folder, it's really great. Or you can even hit the buttons on the keyboard on this screen to get an idea of what they do, and it'll tell you what's used, what's not used. And this is really great because you can also create your own. Let's say I want to start labeling things with my keyboard. I can go label, and it will give me all these different colors, and let's say purple's a great color. So, and it looks like Control P doesn't have anything, so I can just go here and click under shortcut, and you'll know once this little box pops up, whatever you type will be your keyboard shortcut. Control P, and there we go. Now you can hit OK, and I can start labeling things purple anytime I want. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in today. I hope I was able to teach you something. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos. Have a good one.